Hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I guess that would depend on wherever you are in the world. Has this not been the fastest year ever? I swear, I believe it's been so fast. I can't believe that it's almost 2021. And so, what better time to start really looking back at the year that we've just had and really looking at your accomplishments, at what you've done in the year, and then start looking forward to the year that's coming up and seeing what it is that you see as the best possible scenario. And so I decided to make December the goal setting month. Now, whether your goal is to just keep your head above water, or you want to accomplish big things, you want to take some courses, learn some new things, start a new business, this, I believe, is a good time to start really looking at possibilities. So I will be having lots of speakers on, and they will be giving tools and techniques on how to efficiently set goals so that you can set yourself up for success. So please share this talk with the people you love, and let's make this the best December ever. So here with me today, I have the honor to have Austin J. Haynes, award-winning, best-selling author. He's a fantastic speaker. He's a life coach, and he's the founder of Emergency Life Coach. And I am so honored to be talking to Austin once in a while, as he has lots of golden nuggets. And he's always helping me figure things out, bring clarity. So I hope he does the same for you. So please help me welcome Austin on Dela's Voice. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Dela. I'm so honored to be with you here again.
It's so nice to have you here. Always a pleasure to have you here. So what do you think? Has this not been the fastest year ever for you? I don't know. Is it just me?
For me, it's been an interesting year. It's
Has it not?
You know what? Here's what I'll say. It's been the longest year, and it's been the shortest year.
How so? Tell me.
It's because in some moments in this year, what those tough moments that come up, and I know personally there's been a lot of moments that we've had, and in those moments, it seems like this year's never going to end. But then you turn your calendar or you turn your phone on, and Dela, it's December 1st.
I know, it's crazy.
And one of the messages I've been saying to people is like, the calendar is going to turn to 2021. The clock is going to strike midnight. And now this topic that you brought up is perfect time. Too many of us wait till the clock turns. We wait, well, next year I'll get after it. Next year I'll really dig in. So this year has been slow and it's been fast, all at the same time.
Well, I mean, it feels like it was yesterday when we were talking about the year 2020 and how it was going to be the year of clarity and vision. And in so many ways, it has been in so many ways. And I know a lot of people that are struggling right now, and they have been. But this is an opportunity to start looking for ways to come out of there. So, and that's really my purpose, Austin, is to get those people involved who perhaps don't have the initiative or the hope or the motivation to really look ahead and find some hope, some light at the end of the tunnel. So what do you say?
I say that this conversation, this talk that we're having, although it's between you and I, it's for everyone. Whether you're a goal setter or whether you're not, this is for you, because to me, it's about, I mean, goal, the word goal sometimes can take on a connotation, just like a lot of words can, because we use them in certain ways. And they take on a certain vibration or feeling. But I think this conversation is for everybody to really dial into what's most important to you, because that's what really goals comes down to, is what's most important to you. Forget goal setting for a minute. What is most important to you? What has been revealed to you during this year? What are you no longer willing to tolerate? What are you willing to let go of? What do you really want to have in your life? This is the time to be asking some good questions as we move into this new year and really dial into what's most important. And I'll say this: let your goals be the fruit of your purpose. Let your goals be the fruit of your purpose. So instead of thinking, I need to focus on my goals, I need to focus on my goals, what's most important? What is your why? And I believe when we take care of that, our goals will be easily revealed to us.
I like that explanation, because isn't our purpose, our why is the reason, right? And the goals are really those small steps. That's how I look at it, the small steps in getting there. So if my purpose in life is to find real joy and real peace and real happiness, then my goal is the little steps that maybe I want to achieve at the end of the day. So
Yes.
would you say that's a good explanation?
I would say it is, but perspective is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking at goals in a vacuum, they can feel pressure. They can feel like, I'm not looking at goals, I just need to get myself through the day. And I can understand that, because I wasn't always a goal setter. I was too riddled in my own self-doubt and like wondering my self-worth. And so whenever I talked about goals, that was for successful people. And they're up here, I'm down here. So I'm not really a goal setter. Although in my mind, I would have things that I wanted to do. It wasn't like I was a goal setter. That wasn't me. I was below everyone. But after going down this journey and evolving into where I am today, it is a question of steps, because once you dial into your highest purpose, and I've gone through the exhaustive work of feeling the pain and really dialing into what my purpose is. So I know what my life's purpose is. And once I know what my life's purpose, that's why I say, what's most important? So I know what my life's purpose is. It's almost like a reverse engineering. If I know what my life's purpose is, then I can know what my business purpose is. Then I can start to know what my goals are. And my goals just become this natural progression of what I'm growing into, what I'm evolving to, and I like it because it's the work is never done, and we can enjoy the process of doing this. It doesn't have to feel like, oh, I got to set my goals, that pressure around it. Yeah. It can be a natural, free-flowing process that we can enjoy and have fun with.
I like it. I like that explanation. And if you're watching this, folks, I hope you're paying attention. Austin is full of knowledge. I love how you explain things, Austin, because it really brings clarity. Now, I've always said that about your explanations. And so take notes, leave us comments, give us your questions, and let's
give me some love tonight if you're feeling this.
Give us some love.
Show us some love here tonight.
And so make sure you give us some likes, because that's the way you show us love. And so, okay, so let's dig deep. I have some questions that I wanted to ask.
Bring it. Bring me the hard questions. Bring it all. If you're listening to this, bring the hard questions too. Whatever. Bring it. Okay.
Yes. Let's do that. And as I'm asking these questions of you, Austin, people can really pay attention to the question and think deep and really find the answers to those questions. And let's make this next little while a learning experience, because that's what it's all about. And so my first question is to you, Austin. Why is it important that we have goals? I think in a way you kind of explained that, but why is it important to set those goals in life?
Well, gosh, this is a question. Okay. Let me share with you. Let's talk about a goal. I'm going to be talking about this at Flashpoint over the weekend. This is like brand new.
we're going to go there too, because I think that's a great place to start. Okay.
Imagine, Della, that you had a command. Imagine you had a genie, and anything that you wanted, all you had to do is command it. So you said, I want a Bentley. I want a house. I want a cottage by the lake. I want the relationship of my dreams. I want to have the best financial year I ever had. Imagine if you could just say that and it would be like, poof, it would happen. How incredible would that be?
Pretty cool.
Imagine if anything you wanted, you could manifest in an instant. Imagine that for a minute, like in an instant. Well, I can't promise that to your listeners tonight, but here's what I want to share with you. Do you know how many, you're not going to know the answer to this, but I want to give some perspective. Do you know how long 1,000,000 seconds is? If I took 1 second and I multiplied it times 1,000,000, do you know how long that is?
No, I'm going to have to get my calculator. No.
It's 11 days.
Okay.
Right? Do you know if I took that same second and I multiplied it times 1,000,000,000?
Wow.
Do you know how long that is?
Not the top of my head.
32 years. 11 days, 32 years, right? That's a big contrast. Now, where am I going? Like, what is this guy talking about? Your brain, your subconscious brain, processes up to 40 billion bits of information in a second.
Mm-hmm.
You may say, well, what's that mean? It means that you have programming up to this point of things that you've commanded. But when you set a goal and you keep reaffirming that goal, you're handing it over to the part of your brain that never stops. And when you can be so clear, the clearer you get about your goal and the more you can feel that goal, the quicker you can bring that goal into your existence. The speed in which you bring it in is equivalent to the emotion and what you can move out of the way, because you may have some old programming that is in the way of that. And that's why I want to encourage everyone. It's not just important to set the goal. And let me give you another example, Della. If you were looking for a new web camera and you went to a website, and the next thing you know, have you ever had this happen where you see, all of a sudden you didn't buy it, but all of a sudden you see it again?
Yes, right? It's happened so many times. I would feel like Google is spying on me.
Why does that happen?
You're manifesting, isn't it? What? Okay, hang on.
Well, hold on. Go back a minute. You're manifesting, but what else is happening behind the scenes?
But you also notice it.
You notice it? Yes.
Yes. So isn't that like your reticular activation system or something?
Yeah, it's a fancy way of saying your reticular activating system, but you can call it your subconscious mind. You've heard that your conscious mind works up to 10%, and then the rest of the brain is kind of sitting there. It's always working. Yeah. So where I was getting at is that the marketers know that you were looking for a webcam. You need to see it a couple more times. You need to see it again. You need to see it again. It's like retargeting, because they know the more you see it, the more you're going to go buy it.
Yeah.
Well, what's more important, that web camera or your goal? And that's why I'm really working on this goal concept for people, to get them to understand why it's important. And you don't even need to sit down and spend hours. You could, like, what I do when I get confused and I'm like, what am I doing? I just pick my top 4 goals and I put them in front of me. I have a list of like 100 that I went through just recently with James. I went back again, because I'm always going through the process, because today is one day, tomorrow I might feel different. I need to go back again, and I need to figure and distill what's most important to me. Now, if you're not willing to do that, you start simple. For the person that says, I have a tough time getting through the day, your first goal, get through the day.
Okay.
Goal number 2, feel good about getting through the day. You just start from where you are, and you can always build it and evolve it from there.
Oh my God. Yes, this is so good. Sometimes your goal is just as simple as getting out of bed, and actually the second goal could be making your bed, right?
Yes, make your bed every day.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a goal of mine, but it's not even a goal anymore. It's a habit because I just have conditioned myself. The bed is getting made no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm making that bed, you know?
So that I mean, yeah, that becomes a habit because you just make it happen all the time. So thank you so much. Yes. So that's great. That's great. So in a way, you're setting up a goal and you're visualizing having achieved it, and that's how you make it happen. It's like manifesting what you want in life. And so yeah, so the more you,
Exciting. Isn't that exciting?
it's so exciting. Like,
And that's why I said it's the genie. It's like having a genie.
yes,
And it doesn't mean that you're going to get every single thing exactly the way you want it like a child, but it means that there's incredible power in what we're talking about, though.
yeah. Yes, no, it's very true. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
So okay, so what so I think you might have touched on this, but what does goal setting look like to you? And you said, sometimes you just write down your top goals. Okay, so then what? What could people?
Well, I'm going to give your listeners a tip here before we end up this tonight. Goal setting. I just want to say to you, there's never a one size fits all when it comes to this, and that's why I want this process to be dynamic for you. I want you to learn what works best for you, but the one thing that I'll say is to keep it in front of you all the time. Brian Tracy used to say, get up every day and write your goals down. Don't even look at the day before. Just write your goals down every single day. Every day. And let me speak to this quickly let me just speak to this. The more programming that's contrary to that, you don't believe it. Like for me, my example, I had some self-worth issues. Whenever I looked at someone who was successful, it made me feel inferior because I just didn't feel like I measured up, like I was saying earlier. So goal setting to me was like, oh, that's not for me. That's for people that are better than me. And that's a BS story. It was in my head, right? That was my BS story. So wherever somebody is, just write down, if you got to start with one thing, write the one thing down. Just write it down. Write down the thing that, here's another way to put it, Dela. Your belief level of what's possible for you may be here, right?
Yeah.
So if I set a goal here, that's going to stretch me. My brain believes it, and I'll get into action. The moment I go above here, my brain goes, I don't see it, I don't believe it, and you turn your reticular act, you turn that large part of your brain off. So if you can suspend that belief system that you've been programmed with, that it's like you're constantly, whether you know it or not, your filter, it's almost like having a paintbrush. Your color, no matter what you look at, you're painting it a certain color. And what you have to do is you have to be willing to take that down and see it limitless. Limitless. And the one thing I did with my earlier work, and I'm glad you brought this up because I'm going deep here, but this is the only way I roll.
That's okay.
I asked 100 people, Dela. I asked over 100 people what their dream was. And almost all of them didn't know what their dream was. And this is similar to goals. And the reason why is because their brain's not free to believe in limitless potential. The programming of life, the person who told them they couldn't do it, the constant running of your own story, I'm not good enough, I don't measure up, will block you from the goals that you're meant to go after. So this is why in the work that I do, I want to go to the root and I want to uncover what is holding you back. Because if I can successfully do that, you'll be a goal setting machine.
I love this. So we make these goals and we're so gung-ho on making them happen. And then we're good, like we're taking action steps and stuff for like the first week. And then we stop because our unconscious mind is telling us that, oh, forget it. You're never going to do that. You'll never achieve that. You're okay right here, because it wants to keep us safe, because it's unfamiliar with this, idea. So you're saying fix that, and then you'll believe that you can achieve those goals.
Yes. So what I've done in the work with Flashpoint, I've distilled what I believe will unleash somebody. It will remove the limitations. You see, I'm not going to go, and we're not just going to go through the generic goal stuff. You need to uncover and remove the blocks. Some are known and some are unknown. Now, you can set goals from blocks, from program, but you just brought up the point. A week in, 2 weeks in, end of January, everyone falls off the goal, the New Year's resolution train. We know it happens every single.
Yes.
Start your new year now. It's December 1st. I'm working on this now. I work on it consistently. And I want to encourage you to really, it doesn't have to be a certain way. It's your journey. But I do want to encourage you to really uncover what's holding you back, so you can say, what's most important to me?
Yes.
And even asking that question, what's most important to me? It could be a reciprocal interaction between what's holding me back, what's most important. That's what's most important could get you moving, and all of a sudden you could uncover what's holding you, because you start to ask the questions again. 40 billion bits of information is put to work.
So this is great. I think this weekend, your event this weekend is a great place to start, because you're gonna help people gain clarity and get rid of some of those limiting beliefs and start really thinking bigger.
Yeah.
Right, in terms of what they can accomplish, they can achieve. Because isn't it true that if an idea of a goal or an accomplishment or whatever comes to your mind, you can achieve it? Because if it's there, you can achieve it.
Yes. The thing I'll say, if you want to get into the think and grow rich behavior, but number one, you can go spiritual and say God wouldn't give you a dream or a goal that you couldn't achieve, right? And then whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But I don't know if most people know, there's more to that quote. There's actually more to that quote, and this is the part of the quote that doesn't get said, and it's perhaps the most important part of the quote, and that is, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve, regardless of how many times you have failed in the past. You see, it's that last part, that failures of the past that say, no, it's not true, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, because of the failures tell me differently. And we're all human, and we're all susceptible to that ebb and flow of life. If we weren't, we wouldn't be human. I'm susceptible to it. You're susceptible to it. That's why we need to have conversations like this. And that's why you need to be listening to Dela's voice.
Yes.
To have people come on here and have these conversations about goal setting.
Yes. Because it's not as simple as sitting down and writing goals. It's
not
as simple as that. Because if it were, then every single New Year's resolution we make will achieve. And so there's so much more to it, and it takes work. It takes really going inward and finding out what's holding you back. And that's why, Austin, ask. That's what I want to tell people. Ask for help.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
there's people that are coaches that can help you through this. If if not Austin, someone else.
Yeah.
But really, these coaches, they know what they're doing, and that's what they're there for.
Absolutely, Dela. There's so much opportunity today to get what you need, and it's a catch-22 in that I can sit and watch Dela's voice, and it's incredible, and you're getting great information. That's part of it. The next part is to really engage. I can't do what I'm doing if I don't engage with people like James McNeil, if I don't engage with people like Laurel Langmeyer, if I don't engage with people like Dela, if I don't engage with these people, I'm not doing this. Like, I need to be fed, and in the areas of my life, spiritually, mentally, physically, all these areas, we need to be fed, and we need other people in our lives to do that.
This is true. And in the past, I want to say since March, especially since COVID hit, I've had so much inspiration, so much information, so much motivation come my way. I mean, and most of it has been free. This is what I want to say, Austin. There's so much free content, valuable gold.
Yes. Free.
It's
free. Free is good. Free is bad.
Yes, you know, I understand. Yes. Yeah, I know why, and you tell us why.
Jim Rohn. I love Jim Rohn. Easy to do, easy not to do.
Yes.
Easy. Yes. It's easy to do.
Yes.
It's easy not to do.
Mm-hmm.
I got this free. You know what they say is, I just heard this recently, but if you pay attention. You pay attention.
That's good. That's really good.
I'd love to honor your guests here, the people that are listening in, and love to hear what their reflections are on this. And
so we're talking about goals. December is, I thought it's a great time to set goals.
Yeah.
To look forward to 2021 and see what things we want to accomplish in the new year.
Yeah.
So that's why December is a goal setting month. And Austin has kindly started us off because he's always had so much to offer on this show. And he's got this event coming up this weekend, and it's Flashpoint. His Flashpoint event is on Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday you've added this amazing relationship bit. So that's really valuable. And I think it's a great place to start gaining clarity and start this whole goal setting journey.
Yeah.
But if you're watching this, what are some of your goals?
That's great.
Do you have a list of goals?
Yeah.
Like that's a fair question, right? What are some of your goals?
Mm-hmm.
And what are some tools and techniques, and why do you think goals are important at all? Why is it important to have goals? And if you've missed the beginning of this, you want to go back and watch this, because Austin told us why New Year's resolution.
Absolutely, Dela. And I just want to jump in, because people click on this like, who's this guy, right? So, who's this guy that is talking about goals?
You don't know who this guy is.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, if it was me, who is this person? Why should I listen to this person, right? Who is it? Why should I listen to them? What do they have to give? And I can tell you, I was on a quota for 19 years. I lived on a quota. I lived and sometimes died on a quota. I had an obligation to my company to produce a certain amount of revenue every single year. And if I didn't produce, and early on in my journey, I was written up and told I was going to be fired because I wasn't producing. And that was one of those down moments. And then so after that, I learned very quickly on what I can do to adapt and make sure I achieve those goals.
Yes.
And yeah, who is this guy? And that's what I want to give. And by the way, let me be the first to tell everyone, I don't have it perfected. Let me say that again. I don't have it perfected,
Then,
but I can absolutely help anyone who comes in my presence. I will guarantee you that.
Mhm.
Guaranteed.
And I mean, here's the thing. Having goals, let's say I have 100 goals written down, doesn't mean that they're all going to happen in the next year. No. Right? So it's not a matter of how quickly or which one first. I think it's just the idea of this is where I want to go. So if I'm clear, this is where I want to go. And like you said, I have put some emotion into feeling it, visualizing it, really believing that I can, then I will. It doesn't matter how long it might take. Right?
Yeah.
And I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, because I'm just like this goes deep for me. Because I want people to be free. I want people to really understand their potential.
Yeah.
And I want them to understand that regardless of where your journey has taken you, you can overcome and you can begin to set goals again. You can understand and you can understand why they're important. And that's why if you're a top achiever and you're used to setting goals, I mean, there's a different conversation for that person on different strategies and ways to do it. But if you're somebody you're not used to setting goals, and where do you start? You start right now. You start, like, if you're listening to this, I would just encourage you, I'll just share this with you. Take out your book, you take out your thing and you start writing. You start writing, and the challenge with that is your mind is going to kick up. And if you know Dela's work, you're already learning about mindfulness. You're already learning about being present. Well, why not be present with the most important things that you might be writing down in your life to this point? I like to think of goal setting as visioning. And I think about planning and goal setting as visioning, because once the words come into your mind and then you write them down, now you can allow a visual to follow, an emotion to follow those things. And that's when it becomes incredibly powerful. The problem with people, Dela, can I just share the problem with people?
Oh, yes,
Not
please.
with people, but the problem that happens in this process. And if you're listening to this, this might be why you listen to this. When people think about a big goal, and this is why people don't set goals. When they think about a big goal, something can happen in the brain and makes them feel their emotion goes down, A, because they don't have it, and B, subconsciously, they've told themselves it's 1,000 miles away and it's too difficult to get there. So their emotions go down. And when the emotions go down, they disconnect from goal setting and they go back to their life trying to get through the day. And that's the challenge that happens. And it's like my story, lack of self-worth. I think about goals, makes me feel worse. I disconnect from the goals.
Okay, so
See?
in that case, how can we make this goal a little bit easier to achieve? Like, I'm thinking, Austin, in terms of, okay, let's say someone, I always go there because that's what I do on the side. So let's say someone is trying to lose weight, become healthier, and they have I don't know, 200 pounds to lose. Well, if the goal is to lose 200 pounds, then that's a big goal. That's a huge goal. And of course, every time that person thinks about that 200 pounds, it's just such a big, huge mountain goal. So how can they
I love this question.
Go along with this, what they have in their mind, but also make it there and not give up?
I love this question, and this is Flashpoint 101.
Good. sorry, sneak peek.
You don't think, get around people who have lost the weight instantly. Get courageous, and you may need to make a phone call to Dela or somebody. Instantly get around people who have lost the weight. Don't try to think through the goal. If you know you want to lose the weight and you're feeling the feels, you got to find a person that's a lifeline. A start with the closest person you can that could be that step to get around the right people. I can't say it enough. Get around, and it's a courageous step. And there's another element that I won't get into on this conversation today, but I just want to encourage you, get around the right people, even with goal setting. And that's why I love what you're doing this month, Dela, because people have the opportunity, not just to listen to you may not like my perspective, but someone else could come on this show throughout the course of this month, and that may make more sense to you, their approach. My approach, we're just having a conversation about it. Mm-hmm. And what I think is most important is to get around people who have lost the weight. Because even if you don't know anything about goal setting, even if you're not sure what to do, I assure you, if you start hanging out with people that have lost the weight, you will wake up and go, oh my gosh. You'll look in the mirror one day and you'll realize that you've lost the weight.
It's crazy. Because you're giving your mind, your subconscious mind, you're giving proof that it is possible. It is something that you can achieve, and it makes it believable. There's so much power in that, Austin.
There is.
The hope, right? The hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Somebody else did it, so can I.
Somebody else did it, and so can I. And the Roger Bannister story, the first man on the moon, the list goes on. I mean, we could spend 24 hours on here, Dela, talking about what was once impossible became possible. Mm-hmm. You know, there's not the slightest chance that nuclear energy will ever be achieved. That would mean that the atom would have to be split at will. Right? Do you know that's a belief? Do you know who said that?
Who said that?
Albert Einstein said that. Albert Einstein said that. He had a limiting belief. And I'm actually getting into my content here. I'm so excited. But Albert Einstein said that.
This run.
Think about this. Albert Einstein said that.
Yes.
And he's the one that overcame it. See, so here's the power, right? Think about this. Mindfulness. I can't lose weight. This is why Albert Einstein's a genius, right? He said there's no chance of nuclear energy. That would mean that the atom would have to be split at will. He knew what needed to happen, but he thought it was impossible. I know I need to lose 20, or there's no way I can lose 40 pounds. I've never done it. That would mean I'd have to live on a treadmill. That would mean I'd have to get around a trainer.
That would mean I'd have to eat healthy.
That would mean I'd have to eat healthy. So the moment you add that would mean,
you're giving the solution.
Already opening up the gateway of the subconscious mind that is instantly connecting to it. So even if you're resistant now, I can't do that. That would mean I would have to. You see how powerful that is?
That's powerful. Oh my goodness. Yes. And you can do that with anything.
Yep. And hello, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy.
Coming to Flashpoint. Woo!
So we've got Lizzie T here. Thank you, Lizzie T. And we've got Simone, we've got Frida, we've got Tony. Thank you so much for the comments.
Set your goals. Come on.
Set your goals. See, this is why it's so important to talk about this. Because I think it's a great time. I think you were the perfect guest to start us off on December the 1st on this journey. Maybe a little something about people who may not know about Flashpoint. There's going to be people who are going to watch this after. And so please, if you're watching this after, drop a comment that says, hashtag replay so that I know you've been watching. And so so a little something about this weekend coming up and how people can go there.
I want to honor all the guests. I want to honor your Iranian guests. The people
Oh yes, I
Canada,
see that. Hello, Simon.
all over the globe. I'm honored to be here with Dela tonight. And Dela, we're excited. We are having a live in-person event. Why is this different? Because it's people in an audience. We're having a live and in-person event, and we're opening it up to a stream. So it's not just me talking about stuff. It's me interacting with a live studio audience of about 15 to, we'll see where we're going to end up. And it's in a TV studio. And we're doing this for the first time. So everybody joining is going to help us vet this thing and make it better for the next time, because I want to give people an experience, not just a talking head. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're creating. And if you are in the live interactive stream, you're in the live in-person audience, you're going to have an opportunity to interact with me directly. And we're going to have some conversations, and we're going to stir up some things, and we are going to make magic happen in that audience. And I know we are.
That's excellent. So who's this event for, Austin?
This event is called Flashpoint. It's your turnaround story starts here. What area in your life do you most need a turnaround? It's for you. If you know, I need a turnaround in my health, I need a turnaround in my relationship, I need a turnaround personally, my self-confidence has dropped and I know I need to do something. This scares me, but I know I need it. It's for you. It's for if you're looking to reinvent yourself, if you've been doing some assessment, you're looking in the mirror, you're looking at how you feel and it's just not there and you need that spark again, it's for you. If you know you need to overcome limitations from the past, it's for you. If you know it's your time to finally step up and go for it, it's for you. That's who it's for.
I've had people say, I just don't know, I'm not happy with what I do. I'm not happy with my career, with my profession, but I don't know what to do. What would I do? Like, I have no idea what I would do. This is for you.
This is for you. It's out. I 19 years in corporate America for the same company. Mm-hmm. Had a very successful career, made a very good income. I was having my best year in 2019 and I walked away because I knew there was more for me to do. And I'm telling you, if that's you and you're not sure what to do next, I have things that we created on the other side of this too, Dela. We're going to do an 11-day challenge immediately following it to walk people through questions to help them overcome limiting beliefs. So we're not just concerned about the event. We're concerned about your well-being and your growth after the event is done.
Ongoing support. That's so needed. That's so needed.
Yeah.
And also you talked about, going to the people, surrounding yourself with the people who have done it. And this is, I think this brings us back to that again, is surrounding yourself with people that are encouraging, that are supportive, that are doing the same thing, that are accomplishing the same goals. I think it's so important to have that.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to go through some of the comments here. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I just want to share that James McNeil is going to join us on Sunday for Relationship Day.
Yay!
We're excited about that too.
That's awesome. Okay.
James.
Go James. Okay, so we've got, so Mandy says it's like saying, how can I afford it instead of I can't afford it. Oh my gosh, Mandy, I gotta say this because this is like a repeat of what I heard this afternoon, and these words that we say to ourselves that are so embedded in our subconscious, and we have no idea how they can hurt us. And so I heard it on another talk, and I'm sure I can say it because I'll even post the person who said it so that people can go back to her, because I think it's so wonderful.
Please share.
Okay, so she said one of the things that you can say is, instead of saying I can't afford it, is the worst thing you can say to yourself is I can't afford it. Instead say it is not on my financial priority. It's not a financial priority right now.
Okay.
And say that to yourself and see how that affects you. Because when you say, I can't afford it, you're closing off everything completely. It's like, that's it. Can't afford it, that's it. But when you put it that way, it's not a financial priority. It means that, well, possibilities can still come my way. So thank you for that. It's such a reinforcement of what I heard today. Thank you. And Saya says hello, and she's in Iran, and she says I don't really speak English that well, but I am liking you. So
thank you.
And so Mandy says,
I can feel her energy.
Yes. Duset Taram Saya, thank you. Saya also says big like. And Mandy says she's going to be there, right? She's going to be at Flashpoint. And
Mandy is going to be in the virtual house.
Mandy says everyone, this will benefit everyone. If they have any sense, LOL, seriously, this will be beneficial so many people. I agree. And he says, it's for me. So internal dialogue can be dangerous or empowering. Absolutely. Big, huge, right? Exactly. Okay, well, I'm going to post the link, the Eventbrite link. If anyone wants to buy a ticket to this live streaming event, I'm going to put that under this post.
Yes, and we'll just be clear that we have a free stream and there's also a live interactive stream. The difference is the free one, you're just watching it. We can't promise you're going to see all the slides. We can't promise you're going to be able to interact. But the interactive ticket, we want to bring you into the meeting with us. We want it as if you're right there with us. We're going to figure that out. I was actually there testing today, but we want to bring you into this space during this time and talk about what's most important to you.
Perfect. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Dela.
I want to leave with this. If you're going to have some sort of a list for your goals, Austin said, write them down, even write them down every single day, because that just reiterates it for you, and it makes it more possible. It makes it more achievable. So I really like that. I don't think I've ever done that. I believe I'm going to start doing that, writing down a list of my goals, but I'm going to write them down every day. So that's what I'm taking from tonight. I hope that everyone took something out of this talk. Austin, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to leave us with whatever you like.
Yes. Write your goals down. If you're a high achiever, I want you to 10x that goal. 10x that goal.
What do you mean?
If your goal is to make $10,000 a month, make it $100,000 a month. 10x your goal. Why would I 10x my goal? I'm already like intimidated by the certain goal, because it will get you to think in a different way. And you need to open up your mind to what's possible. And it is possible for you. And I want you to understand that it's possible, and it's possible. Say it. It's possible. It's possible. I'm possible. Like, if you don't know what your goals are, start saying, I'm possible. I like who I am. I'm possible. I'm possible. Just keep saying it and do what feels right. Align it with your heart, because if it's too far from your heart or it's not in alignment, you're going to disconnect.
Yes.
So you have to kind of balance this 10x and make it aligned with your true self. So that's really important. So
Mandy, I think Mandy is already your student, because she wrote "I'm possible" earlier on, and I saw it and I missed it. I think she wrote that "I'm possible."
You might have said that in response to Einstein.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So she says, yeah, like writing it down. It's like being in school and writing lines 100 times to remind you never forget.
I do have one other thing I want to share, Dell, if it's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Because I brought up Albert Einstein, and I had an interesting story. I was on another show, and the guy said, "Who would you want to interview?" And he took out like the spiritual people like Jesus or people like that. He said, "Who would you want to interview?" And I said, "Albert Einstein." I said, "I would want to interview Albert Einstein." And he said, "Why?" And I went into the reasons why. And you know what happened this past year in 2020?
Yes, I know. I know.
I interviewed Albert Einstein.
Yes, I
And
know.
the video is up on YouTube, and it is incredible. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. And I would totally please, Austin, post your link to YouTube under the comments after the show. That would be great. And Mandy says everything is perfect and everything is improving. Right? That's a James saying. That's a James.
Yes, it's a James saying. And anyway, yes, it's a James saying. And the way I interpret that for people, I'm learning to accept this moment as perfect.
I love that.
So anyway, I'm honored to be here with you tonight, Della. I know it's been a long show, but
hey, are you kidding? Okay, what did you say? 15 minutes. You said 15 minutes.
Oh, did I say 15 minutes? Well, the energy is here, and I took a 5-minute break. I took 5 before I closed my eyes because I had a lot of screen time. I did my breath work. I came back, and you got me, and that's what you got tonight. So
okay, you're awesome, Austin. Do you mind doing that? I think you did that once on my show, and it was wonderful.
What did I do?
You said, "Take a moment."
Oh yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna give yourself permission right now to grab a moment. Okay, and what that means is you may want to close your eyes, and as you close your eyes, just all you want to do is just relax into this moment. Right, this moment is perfect in what it is. And then you'll start to pay attention to your breath. That's all I want you to do right now. It's just to notice your breath. You feel it, and there it is. You're not doing anything other than noticing it. It just happens automatically. And what we're going to do is I want you to take a deeper, gradual breath. And notice how good that feels. And then I want to give you permission to give yourself permission to take your deepest breath of the day. And I want you to do one more deep breath, and I want you to notice the pause at the top and the bottom of the breath. Here we go. Exhale, open your eyes, feeling amazing.
I am feeling amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Austin. You did a great job on this first goal setting Dela's Voice show. Thank you so much. I knew you were the perfect person for this show. I want to thank you for being here.
Yep. And Friday, this week, Dela is going to be on my show called Flashpoint.
Yes.
That's going to air not this Friday, but next Friday. So the tables are going to be turned, and I'm going to be asking Dela questions about her turnaround story. So
I'll be bragging about that.
Blessings, everyone. Thank you, Dela. This is awesome. I always enjoy getting on your show here.
And same here, Austin. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. Please visit our YouTube channels. I'm going to post the links to both of our YouTubes. Go there and subscribe to support us. Thank you very much. And visit again be with us this month as we go through this goal setting month and giving you lots of information and nuggets.
Follow Dela.
Thank you. This has been another Dela's Voice, hoping to spark your soul. Till next time.
Blessings.
Bye.
Bye.